Hey everybody, in this video I'm going to talk about the Flex container and containers in general and how to align children and align containers and all sorts of fun stuff. So if you want to learn how to create menus that stick to the top or the bottom or size proportionally, things like that, this is the video. Let's get started. I'm going to just create a container by single clicking on it, and I'm just going to change it to a color that we'll all know. We'll set it to a blue color. Okay, container is blue. And I'm going to open up position and sizing here so we can see it at the same time, because they are very, very important for what we're doing here. I'm going to set a fixed height for now to, we'll say 200 pixels just because. And the width I'm going to turn off. And you'll see that it instantly shrinks down to nothing. But what we're going to do is we're going to change this to be pixels for now. And I've turned on the right as well. So I'm going to say, I want you to be 0 pixels on the right, 0 on the left, and 0 on the top. Okay, so now this has glued that to the top of my screen. So no matter what I do, it's always going to be there. Okay, great. So we can click on that again, and yeah, we'll leave the height for now. Okay, so what we'll do next is we're going to insert we'll do a rich text. Okay, so by default, now we can kind of drag this all inside. It's not exactly what we want. We want the computer to manage the positioning. We don't want to manage positioning ourselves, okay? So we'll name this, button 1. Super creative around here. And we can make it, make it a little bit bigger and maybe bold it as well. And we can center the text. Great. Okay, so now we're going to open up position and size again for this one, and I'm going to turn off height, and you'll see that it instantly will snap to the height of the text that's inside there. Width, I'll do the same, and we're going to leave this for now because there's a little trick that happens later on where it will do that for us. Now this doesn't look very buttony. It does, but it looks like a terrible button. So what we can do is we can add some padding. So I'm going to turn on all sides so we can set padding individually. And I could let's add in some top right now. We'll do 8 pixels on the top and 8 pixels on the bottom. Okay, looking a little bit better, except obviously we need rounded corners to make it a real button. Okay, looking much more buttony now. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and duplicate this and duplicate it again. And I can just double click in there because it's text, and I can change this to button 2. I don't know why the exclamation marks are in there, but it's very exciting. And button 3. And let's do another one. Why not? Button 4. Okay, so this is a terrible looking menu so far. So Flex to the rescue. So I've got the container selected, and there's a Flex container setting down here. Right now, there's no layout, which is, it's chaos. What we want is we would like these things to be in a row. It says, do you want to reset the child positions? And this is what I was talking about earlier. So by default, each item has its own positioning system that we've been playing with. And so what this Flex container is going to do is it's going to get rid of that if we say reset. And it's going to turn off the positioning for the children, and it's going to manage them itself, which is what we want. So I click reset. And so now, if we go into position, you can see that it has disabled all of these for us. It's turned them all off. And so these are being managed by the parent, which is this Flex container. So now that we've turned this on, we get a whole bunch of new options in here. Justify and align, and these change depending on if you select a row or a column. See how easy that was? So now I have these buttons that will nicely size regardless of my container settings, or of my my viewport settings. This is a container, not to get confused. Okay, so now we want this back at row, however. Now, the neat thing is playing with these can get you usually exactly where you want real quick. So these two are my favorites. Distribute items evenly, or distribute them evenly with equal spaces around them. So now This space here is the same as this space here, and this one are the same as well. Okay, so again, if we were to now preview this, all the buttons stay at their respective spacing, regardless of screen size. See how easy that was? And now what we could do is we could align them to the bottom or the center or the top, or we can stretch them, or we can do things like this. But I need more padding on there, right? And so I'm going to show you another little useful feature here. We want padding on the left and the right. Probably 12 on the right and then 12 on the left. Ugh, but Tim, I've got 400 buttons I need to do this to. Well, that's what the apply to all siblings is for. So I can click this and poof, they all get the sizing. Okay, so this is the fundamentals of the Flex container, right? Let the container and this Flex layout system manage the items inside it. Don't try and manage each item individually. There are settings where you can override things. So I've clicked on button 2 and there's a Flex item. If you remember, this is the Flex container when you have the container selected, and Flex item shows up when you have an item that's inside a Flex container. So you can override things. So just this button, you know, maybe button 2 needs to be down there, or it needs to be really big, or something like that, right? You can override the settings. Usually you don't want to. You'd need a special reason to, but if you need to, you can. Okay? So that's the fundamentals of the Flex container and how you can use it to quickly make aligned items and make your life generally a little easier.